Hello all. Welcome to the Copilot Studio User Group. This week we have myself, Nehal and Nirali presenting this session, November 2025. So we have already presented in last couple of sessions in Copilot Studio User Group based out of Brisbane. So we do cover topics ranging from Copilot Studio development, configuration, deployment, and any other allied technology with regards to Copilot or maybe M365 Copilot and Azure AI Foundry as well. So just quickly go into the next slide. This session is recorded, so if you do not consent to being part of the recording, I would advise please exit this event. Recordings will be made available in the PowerTech Speck YouTube channel. This is the URL for that. Also, we will make this recording available in the user group. Just a quick introduction of myself. Girish Uppal. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I'm an MVP in the business applications area. Power Apps and Power Pages is my specialization. I'm also a Power Program volunteer, and also I've done certifications in Power Platform space. So I'm a Power Platform solution architect, and also I've done development and configuration related certifications as well. Next up, we have Nehal. Like, she's my work colleague. She's a business app consultant, and she has also done certification around I would say Power Platform functional consultant and Power Platform developer. She is also working with me in one of the project for working in Power Apps, Power Pages, and of late we have started working on Copilot Studio as well. Then we have Nirali. She's a consultant business application. She has also worked on Power Apps, Power Pages, and Copilot Studio. So she will be walking us through some of the concepts and prompts. So what's up? I'll start with the news, then recently released feature, which I'm not going to cover in this particular session because then the session might go more than an hour. Not related to anything on upcoming feature as well, and then there'll be some session topics. Some interesting news coming from the Power Platform conference, which recently held in US. Copilot Studio has now got a new icon. So if you see this icon, that's the Copilot Studio new icon. Copilot Studio has got a fresh new look, which I'm going to walk you through at a very high level when I start my demo. There is a new document rolled out named as Copilot Studio Implementation Guide. So I would advise you guys to have a look into the implementation guide because it actually gives you information about how you should decide and build a system. Now everyone is building an agent. Now everyone is building on their own way, but there is no standard, there's no governance, there's no proper implementation standards around the system. So this document covers a lot of things. It is built by the PowerCat team. So have a look into that document. There's a lot of rich information, more than 100-page document. It's not like a book or something, but it's like a PDF document with some images and some high-level explanation. So I would strongly advise you to go through that documentation. M365 Copilot now allows you to build apps and workflow. So M365 Copilot earlier used to allow you to build an agent, but not with much a capability. But now the Copilot includes app builder. So you can build an app, you can add or make use of workflow agent to automate the task. Now there is another feature, agent evaluation in Copilot Studio. So these three features, M365 Copilot, building apps and workflows, agent evaluation in Copilot Studio, and Copilot credit pre-purchase plan, these all information I have captured from the Copilot Studio blog. Now, agent evaluation in Copilot Studio basically allows you to enable structured automated testing. Now, as we are building an agent, there is a lot of uncertainty over the responses, what you're going to get. And that's why it is very much important for you guys to test the system before you deliver it to the customer. So this tool will help you to test the application in your dev environment, and then you can make a change. And then if everything works fine, then you can deploy the solution in the prod environment. So you can create evaluation sets, test methods, and define the success measures as well. Then we have a Copilot credit pre-purchase plan. Now, I remember like earlier when you used to get a Copilot Studio license, there were like one way whereby you need to purchase 25,000 message packs. Then there was another method which was there, like Azure pay as you go. But now this is the third method, Copilot Credit Pre-Purchase Plan. So basically, it's an upfront 1 year purchase option. You get a Copilot credits commit unit, and it is mainly great for cost savings. So more information on the Copilot Studio blog. Now we'll go into the deep dive into the prompt. So I'll cover very high level information on how to create a prompt, and then Nehal and Nirali will go much deeper into that topic. Okay, to start with basic fundamental, what is a prompt? Everyone knows prompt, everyone knows to write a prompt, but then your prompt will decide what output you're going to get. Now, if you write in a simple way, you're going to get a simple result. But if you actually explain in more context to the agent, you may get a proper desired response. Now, a prompt is basically an instruction or the input you give to an AI model to generate a response. It is mostly in the form of a text. Basically, it guides the AI or the LLM to on what kind of information or action is expected. Now, you may ask, I want, you may have a question, you may have some information, you may have a text attached with some document so that you give context to the AI model. Now, the prompts can include questions, it can include commands, it can include that contextual details. Basically, prompt help tailor AI behavior to specific task or domain. Clear and specific prompt. Now, this is important. Clear and specific prompt reduces the ambiguity in the AI generated response. So, make sure that whatever prompt you write, you follow all the best practices. Prompts guide AI to generate relevant responses. Clear and specific prompt yield better AI output quality. And also, you can perform something called as a prompt tuning. So prompt tuning can optimize the AI behavior for the task. Now, again, it depends on how your LLM is configured. If you give one prompt and if you have configured LLM in a specific way, it impacts the creativity and accuracy as well. So there is a parameter named as temperature. So if you configure your temperature, temperature is basically like a configuration parameter between 0 and 1. If you configure it as 0, there are chances that you may get an exact or accurate response. If you put it 1, there are chances you may get a more creative output from the LLM. So this is just one configuration within the entire LLM model. So from a prompt structure perspective, what does the prompt contains? Task context. So you need to exactly tell an agent that what is expected out of you. So if you're building, say I'm building a sports analysis agent. So I'll explicitly tell my agent, you will be acting as a sports analyst. So you need to tell that word. You will be acting as something. Okay. So you are giving that role to the LLM model. Tone context. You should maintain simple and formal tone. Now it depends on the scenario, but make sure that you put some sort of a tone description to the agent so that agent respond in a specific tone. Then there are reference data, because now agent doesn't know anything. You are just asking some input, but then you need to understand that the agent needs to be provided with some sort of a context, and the context can be provided as a knowledge source in the form of a document, in form of an image, in the form of a website. You can tell agent that, hey, refer to ABCD website and extract information from there. So that's how you reference the data. Then we have a detailed task description. So you need to exactly specify sequence by sequence to an agent that I want A, I want B, I want C. Okay. So if you are acting as a sports analyst, you can tell that this particular agent answers questions about football, about rugby, about cricket. And also from a prompt perspective, you can say if anyone asks questions about basketball, do not answer or say something. Okay, so you need to give that negative connotations as well, and restrict your agent to or scope your agent to a specific topic. And then there are other things like you can ask agent to do a deep thinking step by step. Now this involves a lot of processing power. Now not all the LLM will support this, so you may need to use some sort of a specific LLM model. Okay, now if you say think step by step, it will take some time. Your response will not be provided immediately. So again, whatever we type in the prompt, it the LLM will get influenced by it, and then it will provide the response. At the end, what are we expecting from LLM is output. So output format. So what format do we want in? Do we want a text output? Do we want an image output? Do we want a JSON? Do we want a code? Whatever you want, you just need to specify as an output format. Now there are multiple ways. Like if you see here, we have already covered role. We have set context. So in this example, I'm a medical professional looking to promote healthy foods for my patient. So this is like kind of a health-based app. Or you just say to an agent, write a LinkedIn post or write a sports column newsletter. Again, tone, writing style, voice, you can exactly specify in your prompt. Constraints must work with the existing data source, only refer to a specific website, only refer to a SharePoint site, only refer to an existing file. You can say bound your agent, and apart from that, if you ask something and if the information is not found, agent can politely say that I haven't found the response. So those all things you need to actually program within the format. So these are like few things like role, few short learning, structure output, meta prompting, negative instruction, temperature control, change the prompts and create prompt template. So these kind of things, like these are like an important concept when you write a prompt. Structure output, how you want the output to be structured. Meta prompting is not about what output you want, but then you are asking an LLM to create a prompt on basis of the prompt which you suggest. So again, this is also an important area. You need to master in that. So if you do that, then you will exactly get the desired result as what is expected. So meta prompting, one thing to keep in mind. Negative instruction, we have already talked about it. So like that, in this particular session, we are going to cover prompt. Now here in Copilot Studio, if you add a tool, there is something called as a prompt. So what does prompt do? Prompt basically analyze and transform the text, document, images and data with NL, natural language, and AI reasoning. So you need to write a prompt. So basically you're giving an instruction to a model. Now here, as you see, this is a model. Now model can be anything, GPT 4.1, or it can be Claude model, or maybe it can be a model by Azure AI Foundry. You type in your instruction, you check what response did AI LLM provided, and then if everything is good, you can use this entire prompt in any application. So be it Power Apps, be it Power Automate, or maybe Copilot Studio itself. There are some set of prompt library which Nehal and Nehal is going to walk you through. This is like predefined prompt which has already been provided by Microsoft. Then output format, earlier there was just text. They have introduced JSON. Now they have something called as a document preview as well. So that changes the entire landscape of this particular output. So now you can just provide a document, give some template, write something in the prompt, and your document is ready. So example, if I give a CSV file to this LLM and say, oh, these are the expenses by my team member, can you create a consolidated document based on the template? Within a second, it will start processing the information and then the document will be ready. So no more creation of mapping of data entry to a Word template or an Excel template or any other sort. This is all baked in the product. And then there are a couple of settings. This I explained to you about temperature, record retrieval. Record retrieval is all about how many number of records is retrieved for your knowledge sources. Like if you have a very huge knowledge source, which one should you refer? Temperature again, creativity and the accuracy of the result. So it ranges between 0 and 1. There are other things. Enable code interpreter. Basically it creates a query on the fly, which I will just keep it for the end, like Nirali and Nehal is going to explain that. You can actually see the Python code which gets generated by the system. Knowledge source, you can refer a text, which I'm going to show in the demo, image or document, power effects, you can connect to a data verse table, and you can even establish a new connection and then set up those repository. Model selection, out of the box, GPT 4.1 mini, GPT 4.1 standard, premium is available. If you allow data processing outside Microsoft boundaries, there is an option for Cloud Opus and Cloud Sonnet as well. And these are some of the links for the additional applications like Copilot Studio Kit, Agent Toolkit, VS Code extensions, which will help you build that Copilot Studio experience for your end user. So I'll start with a demo, and so before I go into the demo, let me show you this. This is a Copilot Studio blog, so have a look into that. They publish frequent blogs. Any new feature, any new announcements comes over here, which I explained to you about how to build an app and workflow using M365 Copilot. So these all things are documented nicely over here. Then we have agent evaluation in Microsoft Copilot Studio, and also about the new plan, which is the pre-purchase plan P3, which works on the basis of Copilot credits commit units. So have a read into that, because these are the things which may be helpful when you start explaining to your customer about which plan to choose, which one is better, pay as you go, or the message pack, or maybe something new like the P3 one. Okay, to start with, I have already built an agent, super secure agent. This agent does literally nothing. Okay, so I'm just taking this as a simple example. So let's brush up our knowledge with regards to the prompt. So topics, first thing, I'll create a topic. Now this topic is something called as PII masking. Okay, so when I say PII masking, means it will just mask the PII information. Now PII is personally identifiable information. Now in order to get into the PII, what I did is, like, I went into the Copilot and then I said I generated 200-word sentence containing multiple PII. So it spitted this text. It has all sort of information, like the person's name, which is a PII, the date of birth, the credit card number, the driver's license, SSN number. So it has a whole bunch of things in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make use of this. I'll just copy this and I'll just close this Copilot. Okay, so PII masking, I won't write any specific trigger. I will just say trigger this topic when user says mask. Okay, so I'll just make up something. So if the user says mask, then trigger this topic. I go to the new tab, I'll say send a message, success. First I will just test this, whether this particular topic works or not. So this is a starting point. So I've created a topic. I said trigger this topic when the user says mask, and this particular topic should be triggered. So I just typed in mask, it is generating plan. Let's say yes, it has triggered this topic, all good. So that's the baseline. Again, go back to the topic, go to PII masking. And now here what we are going to do, I'll just remove this success part. I'll just remove. And this time I'm going to ask user a question. Okay, so I'll say instead of send a message is just putting text around it, so I'll just delete that. I'll say instead of that, ask a question. I'll say please enter your data, please enter unfiltered data, and then I will process further. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna save this information. Now as you see over here, I just said please enter unfiltered data, but the identify is multiple choice option, but I don't want that. I want the entire response of the user, and I'll store it in some variable. So I'll just not name it, I'll just keep it var1. So I'll just save this. So this is the simple topic. Okay, now how to create an like a prompt. You go into the tools. There are multiple ways to create, which Nirali and Nehal is going to explain, but I'll be very quick. I'll just click on add a tool, and then from here again click on new tool and click on prompt. Now the prompt window opens. You can call this as PII check November, and here I will say add a content. So add a content text. Now I have copied the text from my Copilot, and this is the text which I have copied. So I'll just call it as text input and close this. So how do I write a prompt? I'll say use this and respond by removing, or I would say masking, all the PII based information And you need to explain what PII is. PII is maybe personally identifiable information. And you have an option to select the model. I'm not going to bother about it. I'll just click on test now. So basically you are hard coding the value over here in the text input, and now as you see the output has come. It has masked the name, it has masked the date of birth, it has masked the phone number, SSN, social security number, state, email, loan number, account number, student ID, school name. So it has masked everything. My particular check is working fine. So I'll just click on save. So this particular prompt which I have just created, this is a very simple prompt. This can be used in Power Apps, this can be used in Power Automate, it can be used from any other system. I'll click on add and configure. So my prompt is ready now. And let's use this in the agent. So it might take some time for this prompt to be added, but now as you see it has been added over here. Again, like go to topics, and now here there are a couple of options. If you use this prompt, there are additional details. You say agent may use this tool at any time. You can restrict that. Ask the end user before running. Credential to use, either use end users or make a provider credential. I'll use make a provider credential. This is the input. I'd say dynamically fill with AI, and that's it. So this is how you basically configure the tool. Now, if I go into the topic, how do I use this? Go into the PII masking topic which you have created. This topic will trigger when the user says mask. Then you will ask a user, please enter unfiltered data. You get the identity of the identify it as a user's entire response. And now you add a tool. Now here you need to search for the PII information which you have created. So I created a couple of PII information, a prompt. This is the one which I just created, PII check now. Now this ask for an input, right? So this from here, you can just say use the var1 because this is where you're capturing all the user's entire response. This prompt will process this information and store it in a variable. So you can create a new variable. So I'll just create a new variable in it as var2. So you can name this variable as input, output, etc. I'll just click on save. Now, before I click on save, we need to show to the user something, right? So you just say send a message, and I'll just select a variable, and in var2 you get a couple of things. var2, which is a JSON or a record component, var2 what was the finish reason, and let me put var2 as var2.text, and I'll click on save. So what we are doing, we have created a prompt. We are now using that prompt in the topic. Now from here, this is all saved. Let me check again. Let me see if this prompt works. So I'll just say mask, then it should process the information. It says please enter unfiltered data. I'll put the information of exactly whatever I copied from Copilot, and then if everything works fine, if the prompt is all published properly, you should get a response back. Now as you see, this is the response. So you typed in information with all the PII, personally identifiable information, and it has processed this information. Now we have used this approach to use a prompt and use it in the in this particular topic. There are other ways also which Nehal and Nirali is going to cover, but I'll not create a flow, but then I will show you the flow which I have created earlier. So you can even also create a flow which will basically call the prompt. Okay, so I've just created this flow, and there are some connectors which you can use directly. So this is the flow which I have created. So I'll just click on edit. I can see that this is particular flow which we have created. There is something called as a run a prompt. So here, when an agent calls the flow, you run a prompt, you respond to the agent. When I say run a prompt, here we can select the prompt which we have created. So as you see over here, there is PII check now, which November, which we have just created now. So you can pass in the input and you can get the output from the flow. And then How do we use it within a specific agent? Again, it is super simple. You go into the topic, and within a topic, if you can add whatever topic you want. We can use the existing topic which I have already there. I'll show you within here, add a node, and then add a tool, and then from here you should be able to see the flow. See, Girish agent flow. So you can call a flow. So you can use couple of method. One is directly you can call a prompt, or you can use a Power Automate flow. Now the benefit of using this flow is you get complete control. You can decide what to display to the agent. You can mask it. You can filter further response. So these are the things which you can do. So I think that's it from my side. I would then now pass over to Nirali to show some other capability of the prompt. So Nirali, over to you.
Thanks, Girish. Welcome, everyone, once again. My name is Nirali. I will just share my screen to begin with. Just let me know if you can all see my screen.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you. So today I'm covering three topics for this session. The first one being prompt gallery, the second being testing prompts, and the third one is sharing prompts between agents. So, a prompt gallery is essentially a central repository of reusable AI prompts that Microsoft has pre built, that they have created, tested, and curated specially for certain scenarios within the business, and it expedites the creation of these prompts. Uh, there are a couple of ways of accessing this prompt gallery. I will show you the first one. So the first one is through the AI builder on Power Apps here. So make.preview.power apps, and you would go into the AI hub and then be able to access, based on your AI capability, have access to the prompts. I have it clicked here, and this gives you a list of pre-built uh, prompts in the prompt gallery. So it says see all templates, and this is a quite an extensive list of prompts which you can search here. Say if you want to just get all prompts related to a text, it'll then filter it by that, or there is options to select it by a particular type of task that you're trying to perform. So say you want to classify something, so you have a couple of prompts for that already, or you want to then even filter it further by selecting a particular group of department or group by. So in this case, say I've selected information technology, I get all information technology related prompts. So this is one of the way. The other way is through Power Automate. So Power Automate shows you the exact same prompt gallery like Power Apps, and you again have this on your navigation. You can obviously pin it, which I have done. Um, this is where again you will see the entire list. There is roughly about 100 um, predefined prompts that Microsoft has already provided to us. The third option is Copilot Studio. So within Copilot Studio, when you click on a new tool, you get the option to create a prompt. And here you have the option to select from clicking here, which is a prompt template, which is again the same gallery, as well as the prompt library here. So as Girish initially stated, this is where you would get things that have already been defined for you. You can choose to select one of them or multiple of them and modify and customize them based on what you require. So it's very easy. You can add a couple of instructions and then save it as a custom prompt. So I will go and just show you how these this second part of what I want to show you is testing prompts. So again, within Copilot Studio has provided us with something called Test Hub. So if I was to click on the Test Hub here, you will be directed to multiple ways or methods of creating a set of test cases. So the test hub is essentially the dedicated environment to validate the behavior of a particular prompt. Here, as you can see, I have a couple of test cases in here that I have created using a generative AI. So there is a couple of methods that you can use. If I was to go back in here and select this, I will show you that there's at least four methods that you can use to create test cases. One is to upload a sample CSV template with a bunch of test data. The other being AI generated test cases, whereby AI generates the test cases based on your prompt. The a third one is using your most recent activity that the agent has performed, and based on that, it is going to go and create sample test cases for you. And the fourth one being manually adding test cases. So I will just demo the manually adding test cases. Firstly, I have a prompt here, which is called the price comparer. What I have done is that I'm using GPT 4.1 mini as the model, and this particular prompt is being used to analyze a user's grocery list and recommend the most cost effective store, be it Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, or IGA, to purchase the items in my list and to be within a certain budget. And what I've also specified for this prompt is my output needs to show my budget. It needs to show the store name, the date as of today, and all items should be priced in Australian dollars. It should also give me a total cost and total savings as well. So when you test this, it does give you a valid output. Sorry, 1 second. So I'm just going to attach a simple grocery list to test this, and testing this gives you an output on the fly. But to make sure that the behavior of your prompt is accurate and to the utmost quality, you need to test it with multiple test cases, using a lot of anomalies, things that you could predict. So here, my test cases that I have created are, for example, I have a milk bottle and 2 bottles of wine. But the budget that I'm saying is $10, and I'm giving the test case that the expected response should be an over budget. Again, with this test case here, I have milk and 1 bottle of wine, but I am within the budget because it's within $15. And then I'm adding some anomalies whereby I'm not adding a budget, so it's saying missing budget, or not adding the list, grocery list, which is saying it's missing a list. So these are just some of the examples of test cases that I've created manually. When creating the test cases, once they've been created, you can definitely go ahead and change the model as well. So again, here you have a list of the models that could be used for this. What if you do choose to change it, it changes the underlying model for that prompt as well. So here I'm just going to leave it as 4.1 mini. The other thing that you can configure are the criteria. So first and foremost, passing score. The passing score is basically the minimum score required for a test case to pass. And it's based on a number of factors. And what you can change for how this test set responds is, say, the quality. So you want to test for the clarity or the tone of the response that comes through, or whether if you want to match, the exact response wording or similarity in the responses. So you can choose to use this option in this criteria as well. The other option is JSON correctness. So if you have underlying data structure that you want this responses to match, you can select this JSON correctness. At the moment, I'm just going to leave it at response quality and just hit save. So once that's happened, we're going to then running test cases. You can select more than one or all of them. And at this moment, maybe I would want to run all of them. Once they have run, they will show me as whether the test cases have passed or failed, and based on that criteria that I had provided. There's also a history of the run history that shows me that, okay, you had a particular um, test case that failed. And why is this essential? Because every time you're testing these, it is improving the outcomes of what is expected before you start using your prompts within a production agent. So as you can see here, because I'm missing a budget, the response says that, could you please provide your budget amount in Australian dollars? And that's why it has failed. So that is just manual test case creation. Now, if we go back into the uh, test hub, and if we go back into the price comparer prompt, apologies, so if we go back into the test hub for the price comparer, you can add multiple different methods of these test case creation. So you can use the upload test. So in this case, you would have the prompt where your inputs, in my case, would be a grocery list and a budget amount, and you would upload it from the list here. And or you could use generative AI to create it, and here you would click on customize, and you could select the number of test cases that you want AI to create for you. And last but not least, you could use, previous recently a recent activity to create it. So these are some of the examples that some of the methods that you can use to create test case. Another thing I wanted to show you, and which I found very interesting, was using generative AI. So I find that, so here I have a very simple predefined prompt, which I've used from the prompt gallery. So this one is a spell check. It is detecting and correcting spelling mistakes in the text that I provide. What I have here is when I go into the test hub for that particular prompt, I can ask generative AI to then create for me, say, 2 test cases. And then once that has been created and we run it, it is going to do exactly as the prompt is asking us. So here it's going to give you the expected response because this was generative AI. It didn't give me an expected response. I don't really need to add that, but it's actually telling me what the response is, how it has modified it. And because I tweaked the pre-built one to show me what the original value was and what the corrected value should be, this one gives me all that and also gives me a pass score. You can also hover over it to see what how relevant the score is, the quality is to what should be expected. So that is it for testing. The very last thing I wanted to share was how to share these prompts across different agents. So there is multiple ways of doing that. So if I go back into the tools, and I would say, okay, for this prompt comparer, which is not installed on any of the agents at the moment, I could click on this and say add an agent, and this will give me all the agents that are within my system that I can add it to. So at this moment, I will add it to this one. So this is one way of adding the agent, and as Girish showed you earlier, the other way is when you are within an agent, you can go ahead and add and configure the agent itself. So this one's taking a bit of a while. But as you can see, once it has been installed or added to an agent, it shows that it has been installed on this particular agent. Now, if again I was to go into the agent and go and add it to a new agent, you would go into Tools, just a brief one, and Add. Here it'll show me a list of my custom prompts as well, that I had created outside of the agent. And here I can then add it to the agent. So this is taking a bit of a while, but I think we have the idea here as well. So I think this is really what I wanted to cover. Unsure why it's. Yep. I will pass it on to Nehal for the next piece of the demo.
Thanks, Nirali. That was a wonderful prompts demo. Hello everyone. I'm Nehal and I'm going to show you document generation using prompt tool. So let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So I'll start with just showing you this agent so you know what I'm doing in the prompt. So this agent called Grocery Cost Saver is basically comparing different items from different supermarket and telling me where that item is available cheapest. So this agent has the knowledge base of Woolworths, LD, and Coles. And for example, if I ask this agent that I want to buy milk, banana, and bread, it will go and search and tell me that milk is cheapest in LD, banana is cheapest in Woolworth. So let's assume that I've been talking with this agent lately with all my grocery shopping list, and it has given me the list of items that I need to buy from Woolworths, LD, and Coles, wherever it is available cheapest. So I have this PDF grocery item list where it says that okay, you should buy milk, bread, egg from Woolies and some other things from Coles and LD. Um, uh, but I have decided to go to Woolies today, and I want a shopping list that I need to buy from Woolworths. So now I'll go to Tools, and by now we all know how to create prompt. So we'll go and create a prompt. So now we have two sides, left and right. Left is for the instructions and the right is for testing your model response. So when you see on the right side, you have different format as Girish mentioned earlier as well. That text, JSON, and document. So today I'm going to show you document generation. So I will select document. Now, as soon as you go and select document, you have document settings where you will be asked to upload a document template. So let's say I wanted a list in particular way in Word document. I have the template ready, so I will just show you that. So I have this Word document template where I want to say that okay, give me date, recommended store, list of item with price, and also give me how much it will be in total. You notice that some of the items I have put in curly braces, and that is the syntax for mentioning the variables. These names are just made up names, so doesn't have to be anything specific, but you have to make sure that you give enough context in your prompt, so prompt understand where to populate which data. So you put the things, variable things that you want in curly braces. Also note that here I only have two rows with item and price. But if let's say I have 10 items, prompt will go ahead and generate 10 more rows and also give me the total price. So let me go ahead and upload that one. So grocery template, it doesn't let you upload if the document template is open, so just close that. So as soon as you upload that template, it will detect what are the variables, because we have put those in curly braces, and what is the table. So it also detects there is item table as well. Once that is all done, you can go back to model response. Now for prompt, I have kept that ready. As I explained earlier, I want to generate a shopping list. So let me put the prompt here. So I will go ahead and say, generate a formatted grocery shopping list document for Woolworths store based on this file. I will upload the file here. So the one that I showed you earlier, I will just upload that. So when you press add content, you have various things, but today we're going to upload image or document. And this is the grocery items PDF that I showed you. You can also go ahead and change name of the document, and it will say grocery here. I'm giving the context what I want. So I'm saying include date as a current date, recommended store. Also give me full item list from recommended store with price in AUD, and also give me total cost. Format as clean printable shopping list. So this is my prompt, and I'll go ahead and click on test. Uh, may One thing to note is this document is in preview state, so sometimes it plays up and you have to change models and run the test a couple of times to get the output. So our document is generated, and I will go ahead and open that, and you can see that it has given me the store, the date that I wanted to buy that, and then you also notice that it has listed all the items that I need to buy from Woolworths, and it has also told me how much it will cost me. So this document generation using template will come handy when you have something specific format, like you want to generate invoice or something like that that has specific format, so you can use this document template. The next step I wanted to show you is to how to generate multiple document. So currently it generated only one document based on the document template. For generating multiple document, first of all, you have to go to settings, and you have to enable this code interpreter, and you can close that. So once you enable that code interpreter, you will notice the option has changed from document preview to document or images. I will select that as an option. Uh, and I will go ahead and also put the prompt that I want to generate documents for. So this time I want to generate multiple documents. So let's say I want to generate one PDF, one Excel, and one Word document. So for the PDF document, I want to say refer to this document, and I will also add what I want to refer to. So again, I will upload the grocery item list I have saved in Excel file, and say refer to this document and extract the total amount spent per supermarket in PDF document. So it will give me how much I have spent total in each supermarket. So how much I have spent in LD, how much I have spent in Woolies, etc. The next one, I want the bar chart to be generated for each item versus price, comparing across supermarket. So it will show me different item prices across supermarket in the bar chart. And then third is the Word document. So in this Word document, I want list of item with total price. So I want to see that, okay, how much I have spent so far on milk, how much I have spent so far on pasta, like that. So I have this prompt ready and I will go ahead and say test. It should give me one PDF document, one Excel, and one Word document. Also, this document generation takes a lot of time to generate sometimes, and you also have to play with model if it doesn't go well in first go. Uh, so because I know it takes time, I have opened the other tab with my generated documents. You can see that instruction is same that I have shown you. So it went ahead and created three different documents. I'll show you what it created. So it created total amount spent per supermarket from the list, so LD, Coles and Woolies. And it also gave me the price comparison. Let me open that. So it gave me price comparison for each item and for supermarket. And the third document I wanted is the different item prices, that is in Word document. So this is the document that it generated with different items and the total price I have spent so far. So that is how you can generate multiple documents. And yeah, always you can save this prompt as a something and can save, as all Girish showed earlier as well. And that's all I wanted to show. I will give back to Girish.
Hey, thanks, Nehal, for that. Yeah, I'll just quickly share my screen. Yeah, let me know once you guys see my screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So thanks, Nehal, for the demo. Thanks, Nirali, for the demo. Like we have seen like how to do the test agent evaluation. We have seen how to create a test case. We have seen how to create a prompt, how to generate a document out of the prompt, which is currently in the preview state. So we cannot use that in the production environment. But I think in the next couple of months, it should be GA. So it's good to explore that the capability of Copilot Studio to generate multiple documents around. Uh, Now, if you see my screen, like we have gone into tools, we have created the prompt, and if you want to navigate, like you can just go back, and there are like a lot of inputs and completion parameters. Now, if I go into tools, add a tool. Now you need to do a couple of clicks, like add a tool, and then again click on new tool, and then you come up with prompt. And here you have an option to select, create your own prompt, or from here, as what Nirali explained, like you can go ahead and select from the prompt library. So go into the prompt library, and if I just type in say chart, I can generate a bar chart, I can generate a pie chart. So I'll just click on generate a bar chart. So if you see here, generate a bar chart showing the total amount of opportunity by product segment based on this data. There has already data been provided, semicolon separated value. So if you see, this is the header, and then rest all is the data. What I'll do, I'll just pick up the model. I'm not changing anything. I'll just click on test. And sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work, depending on how the load is distributed. Make sure that your query or the prompt which you type in is like, it is like say as per the output requested, because there are multiple models which works best on documents, images. Some model works best on text. So you need to pick and choose that model correctly, and then your result will appear. Again, it depends on how soon you want that data. Now, as you see, it took some time, GPT 4.1 mini, but then if I would have selected any other model, say standard, for document and image, this would have done this thing in a quicker amount of time. Now, if you see the output over here, it has generated a bar chart, right? So it has picked up the details, and then it has given me the output. Now, if I go into run details, I can see that there is something called as code execution. So there is code.py. So internally, a Python code is being executed, and you can see all the traces. What happened? Starting execution of prompt, parsed the CSV value, CSV data loaded, 19 records. It gives you all this information. Now this information someone might have populated it, and that's why it is generating, right? So this is how the backend details you can get. So let me minimize this. Now this is a simple prompt, right? If I click on text over here, so I can see text. Now if I click on code, I can actually see the Python code. So what happened is, like, you wrote a prompt, the LLM interpreted the prompt, generated a Python code, thought about adding different libraries, because our prompt was very simple. So if you see, these are like the simple library which has been added, like the matplotlib for plotting a graph, pandas, OS, base64, IO for some operations and calculation. It has even created or generated a code. So if you see, class prompt executor, and then async method, then there is a try catch. So this is like a Python code, and it is generated on the fly. Now if you see all this thing, hard coded value, these are like the columns which we said that we want this as an x axis, y axis data. It automatically calculated the summation, like, so it did a sum. So depending on your query, it will do a sum, it will do a count, it will do a standard deviation, variance, coefficient, those kind of things it will process, and it has generated this code. And finally, as you see, it has even included an exception as well. So the messages which I showed you, execution finished successfully, or maybe, the one which it shows generated chart. So all these things are coming from this particular code itself. So see, logger.info generating bar chart. So these all information is all getting displayed over here. So if you see here, generating bar chart, now this is coming from here. So logger.info. So currently you can actually go and check all the Python code within the application itself. If I want to edit something, I'll just click on it and I'll not be able to edit. Say, you cannot currently edit in read-only editor, but maybe in the near future, I think there might be capability for us to even edit the code. But then again, what is happening in the background is a Python engine basically is getting run, and then it will decipher all this information. Now if I would have changed my prompt and I would have said generate a bar chart, I would say, oh, this bar chart is not good, it is like stock standard. I want something amazing, I want something nicely animated, or some rich bar chart, or an appealing bar chart. If I just use the word generate an appealing bar chart, so what will happen in the code is it will start importing third-party libraries which will do the work. So it will do it automatically. This will happen in the background. It will download that library. It will give into the Python engine. Python engine will process that particular library and then generate the code. So that's how these things work. So make sure that whenever you write in the prompt, it is precisely defined and it does the work as what is required. Okay. And in the background, there's a lot of things happening. So depending on how complex your prompt is, it will write that corresponding Python code and execute in the background. Now, in order to enable it, now you might have seen, like, some people may not even see the code. Some people may not even see the documents or image. Now, all the settings is in the Power Platform Admin Center. Now here, if I click on settings, this is important. Enable code interpreter. When enable, your prompt will be able to do complex operations, generate content using code, and also write into the Dataverse table. If this setting is disabled in Power Platform Admin Center, you will see this as disabled. So make sure that you go into the Power Platform Admin Center, which we are going to cover in a separate session altogether. You enable it, and then you will be able to perform a lot of operations over here. So I think we are right on time. Thanks for attending this session. We have another session coming in 10th of December. So in that session, we are gonna again do a 1 hour session. We will be creating everything within Copilot Studio, but it will be a simple use case. So we'll be creating a topic, we'll be creating a prompt, we'll be creating all the different components within Copilot Studio, whatever is the capability. It will be a simple exercise. We won't be doing any complex thing. the goal is to create each and every component which is available within Copilot Studio, and then maybe in the next session in January or February, we will take that agent and deploy from dev to UI to prod. So that what will happen is, like, we will do a dry run on deploying the agent from one environment to another, and we'll see how the knowledge source work, how the attached file works, how linkages to SharePoint knowledge works, how linkages to Dataverse work, how linkages to third-party system work. So those all things, that's the plan for us to deliver that particular session in the coming months. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the session. I'll make this recording available within my channel and also within the Copilot Studio User Group channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.